What's happening all Tuesday, the 5th, January of 2021. So this is the first one of the year. And in one of my earlier calls today, I was talking with Chris Billington about, locking his loans, getting ready to get his refi done. And in the conversation, we are talking about some of the difficult things that we experienced. Gotta get this thing out of my ear. And what we learned from that, right? I've said a lot and I'll say it again. Good judgment comes from experience, and experience comes from bad judgment. So we learned really well from our ass beatings, and it reminded me back to an ass beating I took real early in life. I was in grade school. Instead of going to kindergarten, I started in the first grade. It was a Pentecostal school in rural New Mexico that my parents had taken me to, and they said that this was the best school in the area according to all the people they knew. And it was in a little Pentecostal church, and they had us all together in one space. And it was kind of an interesting setup. The principal was the pastor, and I was being taught by the pastor's wife. So she was teaching first grade. And in that, they were teaching us the letters, the alphabet, and how to use the letter, right? Well, we got to the letter M, and each letter had its own nursery rhyme, kind of like a limerick that went along with it to help you use the letter. Well, this one was about a mule named Milton. If I tried to search and actually find it today, and I find everything about the Clint Eastwood movie, The Mule. And I'm guessing his name was Milton in that. I couldn't remember from seeing the movie, but I couldn't find information about the system that was created by whoever about the letters. Well, this mule named Milton, the nursery rhyme went, Milton the mule made a mistake. As he read a map, he walked in a lake. And it had this picture of him standing in a lake holding up a map, right? Because he was too busy looking at the map and not watching where he was going, which is kind of an interesting thing for life, right? You got to look where you're headed, reference how you want to get there, right? That's like I always say, write it down, but then point yourself there and always watch where you're going. Well, this was a really cool kind of thing for life, a lesson that we need to know early on. But the reason I tell the story is because me being me, the kind of person that I am, even at 6 years old, I created my own limerick. So instead of having Milton walking into a lake, the way I ended the limerick, because I had him pissing in a bucket. Well, the teacher heard that. The little girl next to me was laughing. She thought it was funny. My teacher heard that. She didn't laugh. She didn't like that. I'm hoping she laughed when she turned her back and I wasn't looking, but I don't know. All I know is she grabbed me by the ear and the little girl by the ear. And she took us right to her husband's office, the principal's office, the pastor. He had me repeat that limerick to him. And when I repeated it to him, he very ceremoniously reached over next to his desk, pulls up this aircraft aluminum briefcase, puts in the code, cracks it open, and then as he opens it, he spins for me to see the interior. In the interior was this padded interior cut out to house his paddle. And I remember the paddles, how they were built. Some of you might not know, but they used to have these paddles that had little holes in it, so it had effect, right? He pulls that out, makes me get up, turn around, put my hands on his desk, and he beat my ass with that paddle. Then he did the same with the little girl, right? So we both got our asses whooped for this. Now, why do I tell the story? There's 26 letters in the English language. I had to go back and actually look that up when I started thinking about this story because I forgot. I had to Google how many letters. But 26 letters in the English language. Do you know how many limericks I remember for those 26? I remember one. I don't remember the other 25. I had no idea what the other 25 were. I know what the letter M is. Why? Because I got my ass whooped for it. They beat that letter into me. They beat me the limerick around it. So when you start facing things in life, 2021, got an ass whooping, right? A lot of us got an ass whooping. I mean, we were very successful. I closed 1,332 transactions with my team last year, $168 million in transactions. Year before was 714, I think was 68 million. We added 100 million in transactions. We added nearly double the transactions done, right? So 100 million in volume. That was amazing. But it was at a price. We got the shit kicked at us the entire time. Do you think I'll ever forget the lessons I learned in 2021? I sure as hell won't. Go back to 2008. The ass whooping I took there. I did not forget what I learned there. I did not want to forget what I learned at 6 years old. I know the letter M. I know that limerick very, very well. So if you took a beating, understand the lessons. Do not forget them. Apply them and make changes to your life. That's going to be my message for you starting this year. Do not shrink at the beating. The beating you take will have lasting memory of the effect of whatever you're getting beat for, and learn from it and apply it. So let's get into the market. and what it is we are seeing today. So today opened up actually above the averages, above the 100-day moving average, above the 10-day moving average, well above the 30-day moving average. We opened way up here, but then it went pounding through those. There's a lot of news that came out, a lot of stuff that's happening that affected interest rates. I have yet to be able to digest it. All I did was see the movement. I saw the alerts coming to me. It's like, but we're staying in the channel. So I'm not overly concerned about where it's going. We're staying in the channel because we bounced clear off the bottom, went right to the bottom of support, come right off of it. And it was all happening as I was on the phone this morning. So I'll digest it and see if I can get more information for you guys by Friday. But just know I'm not too worried about where we're heading. If you've got your rate locked in, you're in a great spot. If you haven't had it locked in because we're waiting on appraisals or properties to be done or other things, I'm not seeing over concern here. Things are holding very, very, very strong, but it can switch at any time. We know that it can happen. We saw big movement today. Hell, look at this massive movement we saw back on the 16th. Wow, huge swings. But again, stays within the channel. Appreciate you guys watching. Appreciate you going to the Operation Underground Railroad through my website, aaron.chapman.com, doing contribution. We're doing a big contribution on that for last month, 147 transactions. So that's going to be $50 a transaction. Anybody who closed on one, we would love to have you participate with us. Thank you guys, and have a great day.